My name is Mindy. I'm from Lee, Massachusetts. I drive, so it's a 3-hour drive. Yeah, it's 170 miles each way. Yeah, so 6 hours in the car each week. I'm working with Dr. Joe for my neck, with Dr. Chris for my lower back and hips, and with Dr. Jeff for my plantar fasciitis and Achilles tendinosis. Probably been dealing with pain for 2 decades. It progressed from being lower back pain to neck pain, and then tried to really push through it, right? You stretch, you exercise, you do all the stuff that you can do to try to get past it. And then I ended up injuring my feet and my Achilles tendon. So now I'm at a point where I have multiple areas of my body that are causing me pain and limitation. I've tried a lot of stuff. I'd been going to a chiropractor for the past 8 years. That was not my first go at chiropractic. I had done chiropractic a couple of times, once in Arizona and then again in Massachusetts. And while I felt like it was helping me to get by, and I used to say my best day of the month would be when I'd go to see the chiropractor, I realized I wasn't actually progressing. It was just sort of keeping me the same, and understood that their business model was actually designed to keep me coming. Not that they didn't want me to get well, but that their model is based on being a lifetime patient, just like how you see the dentist for a lifetime. I met Dr. Chris, at Kripalu Center for Yoga and Health in Massachusetts, where I used to work. And I was literally in the lake trying to swim because I had such severe plantar fasciitis, and I was trying to find some way to move my body despite not really being able to walk.
Beautiful Mindy. I met her about 6 or 7 years ago in the lake at Kripalu, which is the biggest yoga center in Massachusetts. And she told me a few weeks ago that she said, "Oh, I wanted to just be alone in this lake, and here comes this kid into the lake, and he comes standing right next to me."
And I watched this man come down through the pathway from the woods, through the beach, into the water, and I thought, oh God, I really don't want to have to talk to a guest. I just want to do my little water aerobic thing here and get out of the water. And somehow he just knew. He made a beeline for me. I don't think anybody else was there.
And we started talking, and it just so happened that at the time she had plantar fasciitis. So I gave her some advice on how to get the plantar fasciitis better.
And we started having this conversation. I told him why I was in the water. And of course he starts asking questions. Of course I had no idea who he was or what his background was. And before I knew it, we're holding one foot up in the air while he's, palpating my foot. And I come to understand, his background a little bit and what he was capable of helping me with.
And she was super grateful. She kept in touch with me. A few months later, she found somebody who did some form of myofascial work, and she said it was really helping her.
He put me in touch with a local practitioner who does active release therapy, and actually working with that local person helped me over time to get well enough with my plantar fasciitis that I was able to take on the crazy idea of walking the Camino de Santiago in Spain.
I met Mindy a few months back, and her primary chief complaint was pain, discomfort, and really an overall sense of resisting or not wanting to look over her shoulders left and to the right. That was really kind of how I ended up seeing her, and to this moment her response to treatment has been amazing. Her specific issue was she has some disc degeneration going on in her lower cervical spine, and when there is disc degeneration, there is usually the first movement that's affected is your rotation left and to the right. The way that we approached Mindy's case is we started with her upper cervical flexion, so we cleaned that out. We cleaned out her cervical flexion, the second test. We cleaned out her third test, her cervical thoracic test, and we ended up spending the most time cleaning up her rotation. But when we finished treatment with Mindy, Mindy was in the 90th percentile for looking to the left and looking to the right.
I was on my second walk on the Camino de Santiago in Spain and ended up not being able to walk anymore. Literally hit my go, no-go point. and I had some physical therapy done and had to completely surrender to this experience and really acknowledge that I needed to come home and do something differently, that going back to the chiropractor and getting acupuncture and getting massages was not the solution that I needed.
So what we did with Mindy is she actually had really good range of motion. So my job was to identify where there was adhesion in the tissues in her calves as well as in both her feet that were helping to contribute to the symptoms she was experiencing that were overloading her tissues. So we spent a lot of time stripping down the adhesion in different tissues in her calves as well as different tissues in the bottom of her feet, and we addressed some other areas as well.
And when I got home, I started asking people for recommendations. Do you know somebody who does myofascial release or different kinds of therapy? And I kept hearing about names of people that they meant nothing to me. And I kept thinking, I'd really just like to go see Dr. Chris at Barefoot Rehab. I've watched the videos on Facebook for a couple of years and aspired to want to be a patient, but I kept putting it off because it was too far to drive, it was going to be too expensive, it was crazy, I should just be able to find a solution for this at home. But when I really committed to wanting to get well, I realized this was where I needed to go. I really had an aha moment when I was having that physical therapy treatment in Spain and realized that I had to do something really substantially different. And combined with that, I had this awareness that my intention to start a business and be a proprietor of a hostel company means that I need to be able to feel like I can really step into this. And it has been really a limiting factor knowing that I have pain and fatigue and feeling like that's going to hold me back. And so coming into treatment here has had an impact not only on reducing my pain and increasing my mobility, but substantially increasing my feeling of empowerment that actually I can be crazy enough to take this business on and be able to do it.
The last time she was in, she reported that she was feeling 75% improvement overall, which was awesome. And we have her up walking about 1.5 miles without any symptoms, and the last time she was in, she was going to attempt to do 2 miles. So this is activity that she has not been able to do without symptoms for quite some time, and I can tell how excited she was to be able to just start returning to activities she enjoys doing.
I felt like I got improvement really from the first treatment, and for the first couple of treatments, I was feeling like I was really progressing week to week. There was so much adhesion to move through that it was really quite measurable in the beginning. And we talk about the idea of the bucket and being able to increase the capacity. And I started realizing that I could push my capacity a little bit. So the bucket is what the capacity is, or how much load my body can take on. And it's a matter of understanding where I'm at any given time. And the bucket changes sizes depending on where I'm at, right? In terms of how much adhesion I have and how much strength I have. So for example, with my lower back, we've been working on not only removing adhesion from my back, but strengthening my hamstrings and my glutes, because I now understand from Dr. Chris that the weakness there was transferring into my back muscles that were overfiring and then becoming really constricted.
Long story short, she got a lot better with all 3 treatments. Dr. Jeff told me that she's 80% better with her foot. Dr. Joe told me she's 90% better with her neck. She's actually 45% better with her low back. So I'm the losing doctor, but she has some degenerated disc in her low back. She's very happy. She's exercising more than she's ever exercised in a long time. She's able to hike, she's able to walk. She's starting a new business out in Massachusetts, and she can really focus on doing her business because getting her quality of life back, as far as not being in pain all the time, being able to move and exercise, is a huge win for her. So we have a lot of patients coming from far out of state. They've had pain more than 6 months. They've seen a lot of doctors, at least 3 doctors or therapists, and they're not getting relief. And it just so happens in the tri-state area that there are no other clinics certified to find and fix adhesion. So if there are any people like Mindy out there that just aren't finding answers to their chronic pain, that's when we're here for them.
Coming to Barefoot is not just only about getting adhesion removed. It's about coming to a place where people genuinely care about your well-being. People in the most empathetic and sincere place generally care about you feeling better. And if there's, other than the improvement in her symptoms and her musculoskeletal function that Mindy got here, if there's one thing I hope that we shared with her is how much we care about her being better, and how much and how excited we are that she is now going to start to resume doing the things that she truly loves in this world that she has not been able to do for a long time.
All my friends wish the Barefoot Rehab was closer because they all want to come, but don't want to make the kind of commitment, or aren't able to make the kind of commitment in time that I make to come here every week. You guys say it best. It's for people who, have tried everything else and feel like they just don't have an option. And what's so amazing is it's not just about the treatment here, it's about the camaraderie and the energy that is here. I feel like the doctors here are part of my team. Like, we're all in it together. We're all learning, we're all healing. They don't position themselves as being higher or better or smarter than anybody else who's here. And it's really amazing just to see how this practice operates. I'm learning fast with it.